Live from my house. It's Wednesday night.
Welcome to Stride and Strike, live from our homes on
According
Wednesday
to my
night.
guest bedroom, Con Logist, playing the role of Lemire.
Hello. Drew, what was your question for us? Your intro question? Our warm-up question.
It was the in your character's thought process. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Arlith, absolutely not.
Are we all asking each other weird questions?
Sure.
Can we do that as part of the
I'd be
intro?
down.
Sure.
I'd be super down.
That sounds fun. Let's do it.
Yeah. I have a weird question.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Hi, my name's Dan, and I play Tusker Bjornvarg. And my weird question of the day is, how would Adam Levine flirt with Sexy Flanders?
This is based off a tweet you showed us earlier.
Yeah.
That is a weird question.
God, like... I really wish, I hope, some enterprising hacker gets a hold of, his Tinder chat logs.
He would be on Raya, not Tinder.
Yeah. And just reveals how he normally flirted with all these different people, because the memes are so good right
Also,
now.
isn't he married?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's a deadbeat.
Although, would anyone feel comfortable if how they flirted was exposed to everyone in the world?
No. No, absolutely not.
I mean-
if it's being exposed, that means it was not successful.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you're only sharing the absolute worst moments of your flirting attempts. Well, hi, I'm Namir, played by Khan. He and his pronouns. Namir thinks it's a stupid question. Food is food. Classifying food is silly. I personally think yes, it is a sandwich. Also, Namir doesn't really care how Adam Levine is flirting with Sexy Flanders, though he imagines that Adam Levine would do some kind of dance move, some kind of mating movement.
Like a
inspired
tropical
by-
bird.
Yeah, like a tropical bird.
Just like that.
And doesn't quite understand it. I don't have a silly question.
Is each person gonna add on a silly question in the last person?
Oh, that'd be rad.
That's kind of what I was going for. Like each of us just goes our own question.
I'm here for it.
I'm
If you guys want to do it.
Joran. I'm
ahead, Joran.
Joran. I play Agnes the All-Seeing, who uses she/her pronouns, but I use he/him pronouns. I think that Agnes would see this question about the hot dog as an opportunity to give a very vague answer so that she could ride the fence and be in the sandwich crowd for some people and the not a sandwich crowd for other people.
I can support that.
And non-committal answer, I think, is what Agnes would give. Although I probably think that a hot dog is a sandwich. I have no idea how Adam Levine would flirt with Sexy Flanders. No idea.
Okay, then let's rephrase it. How would Agnes flirt with Adam? Or stupid Sexy Flanders?
Oh, I like that.
You know
what? Let me get a picture going so we can remind ourselves what Sexy Flanders looks like.
I'd love this to be in character if possible.
I'm going to be really honest. Neither Arlith nor myself know what Sexy Flanders is.
Oh, well, prepare to be amazed.
Oh, no.
Dropping in the Facebook chat.
Wow.
Right, secret Facebook chat. Oh.
Oh no. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's a big booty.
That is taken from an actual episode. That's not fan art.
Yo, my man is caked up.
They're reflecting the light.
I want them applause.
Yeah. I mean, I think a good classic, hate to see you go, love to watch you leave, is all it really needs to be said. My question is something that's caused a lot of conflict recently in my life, and it's whether or not garlic is an herb. Because I was eating a pretzel chip that described itself as bold and herby, but the only flavor providing, quote, herby was garlic and onion. And I decided that this was terrible branding.
Kirby.
Yeah, I don't-
Other people disagree.
What defines an herb?
Yes, I do think garlic is an herb. However,
Boo.
I don't agree.
it's a spicy herb.
It's a spice.
What about
Yeah.
I'll
shallot?
look at the definition of the word herb.
Where's the line? If garlic's an herb, is
My-
an onion an herb?
In my head, a green onion is an herb, but a regular like onion bulb is not.
Weird.
It's like if it's not green, it's not an herb.
It's the green for me, yeah.
How about that green? Tommy's out here getting seduced by Big Herb.
Getting paid off by Big Herb.
Yeah, someone's
I-
been spending way too much time in Gilroy.
I promise our group is not high tonight. As a collective group, I don't know. Some individuals might be, but like
I am stone cold sober right
we
now.
did not get together and get stoned before session.
No. It was Wing Wednesday though, so I had some wings earlier.
It was good. It was good. I had the veggie wings. They were really good.
You have the herb wings with garlic on
Yeah,
them?
I had the herb wings and garlic fries.
There you go. So
They
herb
weren't called herby fries.
It's true. They were not.
My name is Tommy. I use he, him pronouns. I play Mrs. Sprout. She uses she, her pronouns. And, okay, first question was... I don't even remember the first question.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Mrs. Sprout doesn't understand the question. She's not certain why you argue about what is or isn't a sandwich, because sandwiches don't matter to her because he just photosynthesizes. Mrs. Sprout would like try to flirt with Sexy Sanders by like pretending she needs help, and then telling him how helpful he's being and like how he helped her out of a tough spot. Mrs. Sprout thinks that garlic is not an herb, but she's against the brutal destruction of all herbs by the human species.
Damn it, Herb.
And
Sorry.
my weird question is not a weird question. It's just a statement. If you haven't heard of Cost Plus Drugs, you should check it out because it's really cool and could save people a whole lot of money.
Nice.
It's Mark Cuban's newest project, and he's basically re-engineering drugs from the ground up that already exist in order to sell them for much, much lower prices than the original companies do. And you can get, like, if you need something, you can get it for like $5 instead of $500. It's pretty cool shit.
Nice. I heard about that a while ago, and then hadn't heard about it for a while, so I'm glad that that's still in the process of being pushed out to the general public.
Also, Sexy Ned Flanders killed Dan's internet, so
Yes,
it's done some funky things to our screen grab.
indeed.
Sexy Flanders did be dirty there.
Sexy Flanders.
Killed my internet.
Who has not introduced themselves? If anybody.
Just you.
Just me? Okay, I'm Emma. Use she, her pronouns. I play Arlith, who also uses she, her pronouns. I am the game master as well. We are playing some Quest for the Frozen Flame tonight, and I think Arlith doesn't understand how to interact with Sexy Flanders. I think she sees stupid Sexy Flanders and just begins talking about something that she is interested in. and that is it. Yeah.
I get the
don't-
impression that Stupid Sexy Flanders would be invested in that and would recognize Arliss' needs and interests.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. We are here on our Hexploration map because part 2 of our book, our adventure path, is a bit of a Hexploration opportunity. It kind of uses the first half of part 2 to actually part 2 is kind of an intro to Hexploration, and then part 3 is more like an open Hexploration, explore, go do your thing and check things out and go see what's around. But part 2, which is what we are just starting, is a little bit more guided, so that we can all learn the rules of Hexploration together as we play through the adventure. And I think it's going to be kind of fun. I'm excited. Before we get there, however, before we get there, switch the music up a little bit.
We also can't see in Foundry.
You cannot.
I can.
Nope. So I'm going solely off of the stream.
Oh, interesting.
Solid. Wow.
Can you all see? Can anybody else see?
A lot. I don't know if I can see too much.
I can definitely see the map.
I can see enough, possibly something that could be too much.
No, that's fine. You should be able to see the whole map. That is okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only see a black screen with the Burning Mammoth Hunter group.
It's
You try refreshing, Drew?
I can do that.
it may need to be refreshed on your end then.
I'm loving this world map music.
Mhm.
Thank you. So, we see kind of an aerial overhead view of the Broken Tusk following. A group of people, tattered, tired, worn out from being attacked, walking through the plains in the northern part of the world. And as we kind of get this aerial overhead view, we see these flashes of these horrific scenes from the night of Green Moon. You know, we'll kind of, as if we're behind, as if we're kind of taking on the vision of someone who was there. We have this aerial view, and then bam, there's a flash memory of a burning mammoth hunter striking down against someone with a club. And then we go back to our aerial view, and it continues over the group, and then flash, man, we see another image of torches that are marching over the horizon toward the night of Green Moon. And we continue across the group, and we continue to see these flashes, these quick boom, something happens, this danger is present in the group, and we see this immediate attack that's occurring. And I think we kind of get the sense that the group, while tired, worn down, while they continue, they are still thinking and having flashbacks to this horrific night. And the camera begins to kind of zoom down into the group, and we zoom into our group of misfits. The group of 6 individuals, our newest scouts in the Broken Tusk. And we see Arlith sitting on top of the back of this woolly rhinoceros. We see Tusker with his 2 battle axes. We see Namir with his book, maybe taking notes. We see bloodhound who looks to the sky, and we see Artur soaring above him. We see Agnes, who is flipping through her cards. And then we see Mrs. Sprout. And Mrs. Sprout is just kind of walking through the plains, blending in with the grass as she does. And we zoom further into Mrs. Sprout's mind, kind of get a sense that she's thinking back on the night of Green Moon before the attack occurred. And there's a group sitting around her as she tells a story. The camera melds into the story being told. A young, vibrant human woman is busy at work on a potter's wheel. You see a shop full of pottery and plant life. It appears to be some sort of shop selling potted plants. Mrs. Sprout takes a break to comment on the faces of the group around her.
No, we don't have much of that stuff out here, but where I'm from, there were all sorts of people making all sorts of things in the city center.
And a human man walks into the room from the back of the shop with a smile on his face. He walks up behind the woman and kisses her on the neck gently. "Looks great, Belle," he says as he continues on past her and begins watering the plants seen around the room. "Thanks, Rob," the woman says as she uses her strong hands to mold the clay to her liking, expertly turning the lump into a tall, skinny vase as we watch.
How do you think my hands got to be so strong and hardened?
The group looks down at Mrs. Sprout's hands and notices that her hands are hard and calloused, almost like a rock, even though the majority of her plant-like body is soft and bushy.
Now, where was I? Oh, yes!
And the camera moves fast. It fast-forwards through the life of the couple in this shop. From an outside view, we now see the small sign hanging in view of the street. Belle's Sprouts and Rob's Pots. It goes from a small, struggling big business to a large, bustling shop with patrons constantly coming in and out. Eventually, there are new employees who get added one by one. But eventually, those employees start being subtracted one by one. As this happens, the color in the camera begins to disappear, the audience now seeing in black and white. The small shop is now dusty from lack of being cleaned, cluttered with unsold goods from the many years. Belle and Rob, now much older than when we met them, still smile at each other as they struggle to water the plants in their bedroom.
This is where my memory starts to get a little fuzzy. I'm not sure why it's so hard to remember.
The camera shows the elderly couple enjoying life, small memories like the day a button fell into a bowl of soup and they laughed all afternoon. The camera starts getting fuzzy, like an old TV with poor signal. The memories continue on until the noise is just as bad as the input. The final recognizable moment is a blurry black and white depiction of Rob hurriedly walking with his walker out the door of an unfamiliar room, the door swinging shut behind him. Mrs. Sprout is softly crying as she finishes recounting the story.
And that's when I lost my poor Robert. I haven't seen him since, and I don't understand why he didn't come back.
You see deep inside Mrs. Sprout a flicker of anger for just a second before her mouth returns to its usual smile.
So, I'm traveling the world looking for him, trying to understand this newfangled thing, she motions to her body, and how I ended up here. As for how I became Miss Sprout, oh, you can thank Agnes for that one.
The camera flashes back to the unclothed young sapling of a shrub that was Mrs. Sprout when we met her in the original intro. She's in a grove of trees, cautiously exploring the forest. A noise in the bushes catches her attention, but she stands deathly still instead of running. Agnes, in old, torn clothes, bleeding profusely from wounds taken from an unknown monster, stumbles into the clearing.
Well, hello there, Sprouty.
And we kind of zoom out of Mrs. Sprout's mind, and we then again see from an aerial view the following as it begins to, or continues to march through the plains. And as we zoom out, we then fly forward past the direction that they march, so in the opposite direction, and we see in the horizon, just north of where the following walks, a horde of torch-bearing burning mammoth following.
Uh-oh.
And I would like for all of you, if you can, to take a look at our Hexploration map. So, how we feeling?
Ooh!
Is there anything you all would like to do in this moment as we're walking as a following?
Take a moment to emotionally process.
Yeah,
Uh,
That was beautiful.
it really was. Thank you, Tommy.
Absolutely.
could you post that in Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
I'm gonna steal it and put it in a book.
So we see a horde of burning mammoth tribe following us?
I think at the tail end of the Broken Tusk, you see the torches over the edge of the horizon that are following you. Roughly 12 miles in the distance.
Okay.
And keep in mind, these are flat plains, so I think you would see the smoke that rises.
Right. Okay. So, looking at the map, how familiar is everyone with the map that we see before us?
In terms of, how familiar is the following with this map?
Yeah, so to me, just based on the way this map is shaped, we're escaping by traveling east. Or we'll most likely be traveling east while trying to escape the horde of burning mammoth following. So would we be familiar with these riverways and the lake?
In general, yes, the following as a whole is familiar with this route. You as scouts are not quite as familiar with leading a party through this route, because you in the past would have followed this route, and this is the route to Red Cat Cave, which was the destination that Grandfather Eiwa asked you to investigate as his dying wish.
Right. Okay.
I have a quick question. The two hexes that are filled, are those the scouts and the following, or the following and the burning mammoths?
So the following is what Drew has just pinged, and the burning mammoths is just above. Thank you.
Okay.
And you are going to be considered within the same relative space as the following, both for purpose of simplicity, and then also because the goal is not to be so far away from the following that you are leaving them behind. Now, if you do, then we can make a new token for you. But the general request of the elders is that they would like for you to please scout ahead, explore as you go, and lead the following toward Red Cat Cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what direction these rivers flow? Presumably towards the lake, but
Good question. I would actually say, let's see.
From a a generic map reading perspective, they would be flowing south. But that's only dependent on whether or not true north is literally up in this case.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer for you at the moment, but that is something I can read a little bit more carefully into Is
Well,
that
my
going to
thought
determine?
process
Yeah, go
was
ahead.
that we might be more trackable if we were following a river that was like washing all of our shit downstream
Yeah.
towards the burning mammoths that were behind us, and maybe less trackable if we were following a river that was flowing in the direction we wanted to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Are these lighter colored hexes mountains?
Okay, so let's see kind of how this works in terms of mechanics. The grass, the plains are the green ones. The the dark green one, or not the dark, but like the vibrant green ones with the trees, those are forests. If you scroll right, you're gonna see like tundra and snowy areas. And I think I've kind of figured out a direction that they flow then. If we've got tundra and mountains over on the far side, they're probably flowing west. The rivers. But then the tan ones are going to be probably mostly like barren, rocky environments. Like maybe some hillsides, but nothing that's got a lot of like. Okay, there we go. Hills. I just found it. Okay. So, exploration activity. Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
The following, do we have... I'm just trying to understand our technology level. Do we have anything on wheels?
Yeah,
Like our storehouses or whatever? I mean...
I would say,
What?
like... Go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say like a logistical train.
Yeah, like you for sure have technology to keep things moving well. I would say you do have wheels because wheels exist in the world. And I would think it would be silly for a group, even if they are somewhat separated from society, to not have access to that technology. So you probably have like wooden carts that you can carry goods in, and just supplies that you need. Yeah. So exploration activities. You have one exploration activity to spend per day, regardless of your speeds. And you cannot make what is called a forced march. It takes one travel activity to move into a hex of open terrain, or two travel activities to move into a hex of difficult terrain. And we are not able at the moment, because of the following's current state, to move into mountainous terrain. So at the moment, things look good. You can move forward into a plains area, and that will take about 1 day. I think that's the only option we have, but I would like to know, where do you all think we should head? And I'm just going to kind of turn it over to all of you for anything you'd like to do.
I mean, as a player, I think we should head for the hills and like go, yes, it's the southeast.
Why
as-
would we head for the hills?
Because we're probably less visible on the other side of the hilly terrain than in the plains.
Hills are also more defensible.
I'm a little concerned about our like ability to get everything over the hills. Like if we're pulling carts and stuff, then I think hills are more difficult. But I do like the idea of not moving directly east, because I think there's a better chance of them catching up to us if we move directly east.
Anybody feel free to give me a survival check.
I got it.
Survival.
I'm not sure I want to fjord a river.
That's what I thought. I was like Oregon Trail flashbacks. I don't know if I want to touch this river.
Oh.
If I'm trained in survival, my
Mhm.
bonus would be at this point a +6 or +5.
4.
+4.
But adding my proficiency, that's
So it's
so it'd be-
level +2 for trained.
oh.
Oh,
All right. Here goes nothing.
I nat 1.
Ah!
So for survival, my skill is only a 4.
Okay.
If I'm
Mine's only
trained.
a 4.
If I'm trained. Okay. So here we go. God damn! It was so close to being a 16.
What's our highest at the moment?
Me with 18,
18.
I think.
Agnes,
Yeah.
you look onward, and really the most that you see around you is like plains, and you think that any direction you go is going to be pretty easy to traverse. However, you remember that southeast, you think that there is likely a set of hills. And going through those hills would probably slow the group down. Now, it would also probably slow down the Burning Mammoth who trail you. So it is kind of up to whatever the group thinks is best, but it is difficult terrain.
How do you feel about us going in these like half hex tiles?
Would that be... I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happens when we go off the map?
Yeah, so let's try to keep that to anything that is half hex or greater. So basically, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, half hex or greater, but that's fine. Absolutely.
Are rivers considered difficult terrain to cross?
Rivers are going to be... Let's see. It may require certain, like, skills to be used, but in general, think of the type of terrain that you see in the hex. So, like, if this one that I'm pinging right now, there are 2
Mhm.
rivers there. I may ask you as a group to roll some skill checks or to, like, do something that might assist the following in crossing those rivers. But in general, I'm not counting this square as difficult terrain.
So, question about difficult terrain: is that twice the amount of movement that we would normally do?
Yeah. So
In which case, going around and going through to this square is the same amount of theoretical spaces. Because we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way on green, and we'd go 1, 2,
Right.
3, 4 on the hill, and 5 on green.
But in one of them, they could theoretically catch up to us as we're climbing the hills. That's
True.
what I don't like about it.
so
Another-
oh, go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, another question I have is how frequently do we need to be at a source or at a body of water in order to replenish our supplies?
That is a very good question. I will actually be asking you all to live off the land as we go day by day. You think it will take you about a day to travel through each hex, moving at full speed. And that is 12 miles. So that's at a speed of 15 feet on average for the group per 6 seconds or whatever. So the you will need to live off the land, and so you would think probably every probably every 4 to 5 days, you're going to want to see a water source so that you can replenish. Right now, you think you have enough to get another 4 to 5 days. Because you were able to replenish just before leaving Rockloom.
So that kind of forces us to be along the path of the river.
Up to y'all. Okay, so another thing that I do want to make clear is the way that Pathfinder 2 does Hexploration, it is based off of your movement speed. And when we think of like an average character's movement speed, because that's what we're going to be using for the group, taking a big group is about 15 feet for every 6 seconds, which is 150 feet per minute, which calculates to about 1.5 miles per hour. So about 12 miles per day. I'm going to send you a table, the table that they use for this. And you can, if you are moving like faster than normal, you can actually push yourselves, but not with the following that you are looking after. All right, our faces are going to disappear for a moment on the stream.
Quick, do the goofy stuff so they don't see.
Woo! And here are the Hexploration rules as well. Okay, back to our faces.
I mean, the red route seems to be wise.
That
Keeps
Yeah,
us
so
close to the water.
the problem with the red route though is that this is our next move. This is the Burning Mammoth's next move. We fight them here when we move into this hex, because then they'll move into our hex.
Yeah, I don't know how intelligent they are.
I mean, or minor adjustment. We go here. Wait, how do I ping? Wait, there we go.
Hold left click.
We go here and cross here.
Right, but that's
Yeah, it's the
extra
same
travel
problem.
because that's difficult terrain. So that's an extra movement that we would run into the same problem, because then they go here and then fight us here.
What if we send the following around the grass and we go over the hills because we could push ourselves?
Ooh.
Would they make it to the water in enough time?
You could ask some of
This
the
is
elders.
This is 4 to 5 days. Right about here.
And this is also dependent upon them taking the smartest route possible to catch us.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we can like try and distract them to make them not take the smartest route possible.
Yeah, I've already considered using some of our. I think we maybe picked back up our caltrop traps and etc. Caltrop snares, poison barb snares, spattering snares. I've got one of each still.
Yeah, I still got some snares.
So,
I think
oh, go ahead.
there will also probably be water sources that are not the rivers,
Hmm.
right? Because like, there's no way that we could make it from here.
Yeah, all the way to the mountains. That was the second problem I was trying to figure out.
So
I
if
think
you,
the red road looks fine if we can figure out a way up there.
Yeah.
Nobody took create water.
I mean, if these are tundras, right? Ideally, there'd be water at the tundras somewhere.
Yeah, there's also got to be water to make the forests.
Right.
So if you take a look at the exploration link that I just sent you all in Discord, that will, if you scroll down quite a bit, you will see there are group activities, and then there are individual activities. Group activities, you have 2 of them. You can travel, progress toward moving into an adjacent hex in open terrain like a plane. Using one travel activity allows you to move from one hex to an adjacent hex. Okay, so there's you can travel or you can reconnoiter. spend time surveying and exploring a specific area, getting the lay of the land, and looking for unusual features, specific sites. That is another travel activity that you can do as a group. Individual activities, you can fortify a camp, you can map the area, and let's see. Oh, you can also do like any sort of other activity you might need to like subsist and stay alive. So there's a lot of stuff you can do as we go through the map. Are you all thinking the red route is the way that you want to go, though?
I mean, the other option is that we go what Khan had pointed out earlier, is do this and just kind of roll the dice and hope that there's water around this area.
Okay.
I think there is the potential for us to do this kind of a thing as well, eventually.
Yeah, I like purple better than red.
Yeah. Purple's probably wiser. Yeah. Purple, I think, is smart.
But how would y'all feel about doing this kind of a thing? My bad. let me delete some of these things. How would you feel about going over the hills to reach water more directly, like this, and then cutting down?
Or just go like...
I see Dan's
Kind of
cursor
weird.
moving.
Either way, we want our first movement to be southeast, right?
Yeah, I think the first move is probably this one.
Okay.
And that looks like Emperor's New
Nice.
Groove movement.
Yeah. I like the twirly.
Yeah, you gotta get
How
the
did they
twirly
beat
in
us
there.
here?
You gotta get the twirly in there.
Beats me. By all accounts, doesn't make sense.
Thank
Alright.
you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Are we relatively set on moving one space southeast?
Yes, I think no matter what, we're doing that.
All right. Then you're able to spend one travel activity from morning until evening, leading the following forward. Away from Rockloom, further one step closer toward Red Cat Cave. And, as probably expected, as you move, the Burning Mammoth torches, the smoke billowing into the sky, follows you. So, it is evening, and I would like a flat D20 from someone in the group.
Oh.
This is
I'll do it!
this is a flat
Not
luck
me.
check.
Not
Here we
me.
go!
A 13. I like it. Thank you.
Unlucky.
Dan,
Remember. Yes.
weather seems fine. It's not super, super cold. It's not super, super hot. And it's relatively easy to keep the following moving. You do have a little bit of a struggle with some of the elderly and with some of the children, like keeping them moving forward at a probably a faster pace than you normally would take. Bringing this, like going along this route. This is a route that you take every year. And so it's not comfortable, but it's fine. And you make it through the night without any, like, inclement weather. Nothing that is harmful, nothing that poses a threat to anybody in the group.
Cool.
So, they've already made a mistake, right? So we should now go north. Right? Because they didn't cut us off from going north.
Right.
We could go northeast.
Right.
Okay.
So you mean here?
Mm-hmm. Because they needed to move to. How
To
do I
here
get it?
to cut us off.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. Let's do that then.
Okie
It's
dokie.
it's
it's
safer.
easier travel.
Yeah. It's also safer being near water.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Last time we were near water, we got attacked by a mischievous fey spirits.
And nearly died.
I got soaking wet.
All right.
Yeah.
You wake up the next morning, and you are approached by Arga Koa, who is the woman who was in the tent with you as Grandfather Eiwa was dying. She approaches you and says, "Scouts, how are you all? Is there anything I can provide to make your assistance easier?"
Would it be a outlandish to ask for a map, or would that just show our incompetence?
No, I don't think so. Y'all are new scouts.
A massage would be great. I've been reading the cards all night long. I didn't get an ounce of sleep.
I appreciate that someone's able to have a light mood in a time like this. Thank you. If you would like to stop by my tent at some point, I'm happy to help you. I don't mind.
Oh.
Wait,
Asking
was that
shall
like
see.
flirty? Fuck.
Ooh woo.
Ew. Sorry.
Oscar spends his breakfast hour making more friendship bracelets.
You need a big one for the mammoths.
Yeah, he's putting them on their tusks.
Well, even then, that's still a big friendship bracelet.
Yeah.
The tusk's pretty big.
Argakoa approaches Namir, I think. No, Namir and Bloodhound.
Is
What's
I
up,
have
Sprout?
a quick question. Is
Yeah.
everyone at max health?
Everyone
Yeah,
is
could
at
be.
max health. Yes.
So
She.
Yeah, you go.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. So she approaches Bloodhound and Namir, and she says, "We will need to lean on you more than we have in the past. Whippa is in much pain after her traumatic childbirth. That was not how anyone would want to bring a child into this world. And she is, while strong, struggling. She is our head scout, but she is not able to lead us through this terrain right now. Truly, you as her students, you and the other scouts, you are the best hope that we have for moving forward. We need you, and I look to both of you as maybe those who are more in touch with their deity, Sister Cinder." She looks at Namir. "And how to survive off of the land." And she looks at Bloodhound. And I think this is kind of just based off of her notions of what she observes about the people around her. And she just says, "Please, let me know what I can do. But just remember, I am a healer at heart, and I'm happy to help, though my assistance may be limited depending on what you need."
I take it that you're treating to her wounds, or to just the care she needs following the birth.
I will be helping to care for the triplets.
The
Yes.
bloodhound goes over and puts a hand on her shoulder and goes, "We will do our best. May Sister Cinder show us the light."
She nods, walks over to Agnes, and she says, I have never been much for oracle readings, understanding what may come from the cards, but I might appreciate something that you have to offer. Maybe it might provide hope.
I understand. Many people turn to the fates for guidance, to ease a aching heart.
Thank you. I would be interested in a reading at some point if you are able to help me.
Yes, I shall come later tonight if that works.
Oh my.
I have a really good soundboard to use right now. I just don't have it bound to my board.
Oh, so to describe Arkakoa, by the way, because I think she's just her artwork is really cool. You know what? I can do better than just describe.
Show me!
I can show you.
Show me!
Watch it be a picture of stupid, sexy Flanders.
This is Arkakoa.
Oh, red.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Oh,
She-
yeah.
Yeah, she has a side shave. She's got gray hair that swoops off to one side of her face, and a black tar paint line across the middle of her face. And she wears lots of healer's tools around her personage. She's probably she's middle-aged, lower 40s, late 30s. I don't know if I'd say middle-aged per se, but she's lower 40s, late 30s. And she has lots of just trinkets that kind of hang off of her body. Yeah. And talismans.
I did think of one request, one thing that you could help us with.
Yes, please.
In treating each other's wounds, several of us have picked up the skills necessary to use a healer's kit fairly recently, but we only have one to share among all of the scouts. Are there any additional ones in your stores that we could perhaps have?
Oh, of course. I will put as many as I can together tonight. And I'll give them to you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Con, go ahead and give
On
me
for the win.
Give me a D4, and we're gonna. It's gonna be either 1 or 2 healers kits that you get.
If you don't
Come on,
roll,
Con,
or
roll
you're
out,
out of the
roll out.
group.
Just to confirm, it's /roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we get one.
Okay. 1 healer's kit. And actually, as the sun sets and the group begins to come together, the following hosts a funeral for Grandfather Eiwa and for the people who did not make it through the night of the Green Moon. So, it's a somber night. And at the end of the night, Argakoa comes to you, Agnes, with kind of cloudy eyes. She looks like she has been holding back tears all night. And she just says, please, any hope that you can provide from the cards would be Greatly appreciated.
If you'd like,
Could you say that again, Jordan?
I can do a reading if you'd like.
Yes, please. And she sits down
Very well,
cross-legged
then.
on the ground.
3 cards. 1 for the past, 1 for the present, and 1 for our future. And she kind of reaches out to hold hands with Arakoa. Is that her name?
Argakoa, yeah.
Argakoa.
She'll take your hands.
First, she reaches to like the deck and pulls the top card off. The past, death, not just literally, but an ending, and with it, perhaps a new beginning. The present, a journey, great and difficult, and at times, never ending. But at the end, she pulls a 3rd card. Love. Hope. Happiness.
And
This is what I see for you. This is what I see for us all. And it kind of like looks into her eyes.
Argakoa smiles genuinely and says, "Thank you. I needed something to look forward to." And you see kind of a couple tears stream down her face. "Well, I must be going. Thank you. Have a wonderful night." She stands up
Good night.
and she'll walk out of the tent. Thank you. Good job, Jordan. That was nice. All right.
I have one thing.
Yeah.
As I'm walking around, I'd like to cast Read the Air.
Ooh.
You take a deep breath as you survey a social situation, showing courtesy to all around you as your intuition swiftly picks up clues about social context and unspoken assumptions of behavior. Your body language subconsciously changes to take advantage of this information to use it in your own interactions with those creatures.
Okay.
So I can make a society check to gain information about the immediate social situation. I'd like to take a society check to understand context surrounding our interactions with Burning Mammoths.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, I'm not terribly good at society, but we can go ahead and take a try anyway.
What do you mean society? We're out here like wandering in the fucking wilderness.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay, Con, can you kind of give me a brief explanation again of what you would glean from if you were successful?
Yeah, so I would ultimately like to understand how the people in the Broken Tusk understand the Burning Mammoths, understand their history with the Burning Mammoths. And I would like to maybe gather some knowledge about that to better address them when talking about the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
I do naturally get a +1 status bonus on a diplomacy check, but
Okay.
yeah.
With a 13, and is this kind of treated as a skill check? Is society right? Okay, so with the 13, you understand that there's a great deal of tension between the two groups, which I think is pretty obvious, right? But even before this attack, people within the Broken Tusk don't want to have much to do with the Burning Mammoth. They're kind of they're seen as the group that let them down. Long ago in our history of the Broken Tusk, we were let down by the Burning Mammoth. We were dropped. We were one of them. And they dropped us. and they made us become our own, which made us stronger. But we would not have needed to become our own thing were it not for the Burning Mammoth letting us down. And so that's the general vibe that I think you understand with the 13, is that most people feel like let down by the Burning Mammoth, and now like straight up antagonized by the Burning Mammoth.
Then after casting that and gaining that knowledge, I would really love to spend the evening walking around to individuals, taking note of needs, and having conversations like, we have prevailed before in our conflicts with the Burning Mammoth. We succeeded in fracturing off of them. We developed our own culture. We walked in the light of Sister Cinder, and we will continue to walk in the light, and we will continue to grow stronger. This conflict is just the means that Sister Cinder uses for to allow us to show our faith and to show our strength. We'll make it through this.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Thank you. Cool. Okay. This is one thing that I am good at. And then I'm going to have a +1 circumstance bonus from the Breathe the Air. 16.
Okay. People are in general enlightened by the words that you speak. A couple people are brought to tears, in thanks and gratitude. But for the most part, I think people are glad that you are making this effort, going to speak to them and trying to bring morale up a little bit. And I'm gonna think on whether or not that offers some sort of benefit. Oh, you know what we'll do? I think if we're gonna be able to increase morale, I'm going to assign a hero point to the following as a whole to use on a travel activity. So, a group travel activity. If we need to, we can use a hero point. Okay?
Sweet.
All right. Are we moving northeast now?
Winds have shifted. Northeast.
Oh, I was totally trying to talk, and I realized.
Oh, Dan,
that
I'm sorry.
I muted myself like an idiot. But I was I was trying to communicate that after the speechifying, that Tusker would be wandering around giving people friendship bracelets to wear.
And this is where we learn, or where we are foreshadowed, that Tusker is actually the BBEG, and these friendship bracelets are a mind control device.
People are. Go ahead.
Tusker would be explaining to people that, like, people wearing the friendship bracelet is Tusker's friend permanently, and he will defend them with his life.
I'll take one for each wrist.
I think you get a whole gamut of reactions. You get people who are moved to tears by this. You get people who are like heartily laugh along with you, and they're grateful to see this beautiful little piece of twine on their wrist. You have people who are like stoic and just look at you and say, "Till the end." And I think you have any range of reactions that you might want to see. People are generally thrilled to see those friendship bracelets.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does Pakano get one?
So, as you walk around, Tusker, I think you see all of the scouts. You make eye contact, you have these interactions with the scouts, people who are mostly in training, because now you all are you are the head scouts. And you look around and see the group, but you don't see Pakano. And as you walk around, you do hear one conversation of scouts who had kind of trained with all of you at one point. And they turn to each other and just say, "Where did he go? His grandfather's dead and now he's gone."
Well, I'm not sure where he might have gotten off to. Do we have any idea which direction he might have been traveling by himself?
Oh, Tusker, well, the last time we saw him was on the night of the Green Moon. We just saw him disappear into the woods. That was it.
Well, poop. Poop, I say.
I wonder if he is not alone and potentially to our northwest.
You don't think he would... I mean, he wasn't a great scout, but he wouldn't join them, do you think?
I'm simply thinking it's either that or he's very injured. I can't think of another reason he would not be with us.
We all know he's a drama queen.
Well, I hope it's not that, and if it's not that, then I hope he's okay. Thank you, Tusker. Thank you, Namir.
I think Mrs. Sprout's gonna wait until Tuskar finishes his walk around camp, and presumably takes a seat after his walk around camp. And Mrs. Sprout's gonna walk over to him and put her plant hand on his knee that's basically at her shoulder height. And she's gonna say, "You believe in that religion stuff, little man?"
You're doing this to Tusker?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean belief in the gods? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. All that Sister Cinder stuff.
Oh, I believe the gods are real, but I don't believe they care a whole lot for people like us. And that's why we must struggle to prove to ourselves, only to ourselves, that we can deserve to live.
She nods. She looks him up in the eyes, and she says, "Well, I think we both deserve to live."
Yeah, I believe we do too. And that's why I'll chop anyone in half who threatens you, Mrs. Sprout.
Ah, you'll struggle to find someone who threatens me.
Would you like a friendship bracelet?
Already got one.
Tusker doesn't wait for a response and puts another one on you.
Tusker, I believe that, well, Ruffles is growing more friendly with me and with others. Would you like to say hello?
Oh yeah, Ruffles looks very friendly. And Tusker will walk over and attempt to, ruffle his snout.
Yeah.
Or their snout.
Yeah, he, kind of leans into it, lets you do so. And Arlith looks at Mrs. Sprout and says, "You know, I think I've seen a god. I don't know if It was Sister Cinder. I heard you talking with Tusker.
I just wonder if one of the gods is why I'm in this body. I don't know what brought me here.
I've wondered the same for a long time in my life. She points to her neck, where the gear is turning. She says, I don't know why, but this body doesn't feel entirely like my own.
Miss Sprout nods, and she says, well, cheer up. We'll figure it out together.
I would like a survival check from anybody. Or everybody, if you would like to provide it. Yeah, so anybody feel free to roll. There we go.
There we go! Oh, it's better than last time.
Oh, someone's dice hit mine for a nat 20, baby.
Nice!
Oh.
Hey, sorry, that was stealth. That was not survival. Can I
Sad
redo
cat
that?
noises.
25 is pretty good.
Yes.
Hold on. Thank you. This
That's
is
a-
gonna be great. This is a -1, so this is alrighty. 2.
I got Bloodhound with a natural 20 as well.
Drew, you're putting my plus 12 to shame.
You did nature.
Oh, you're right. That will do it.
Spend a batch of herbs in the wilderness.
Hell yeah.
Also, oh, go ahead.
Jesus Christ, just the fact that you have a plus 12 at level 2 is insane.
I
Yeah.
have a plus 8, and then I have a feat that lets me gain a plus 4
That's wild.
twice
Literally.
a day.
So that lake that we see on the map, I just found in the book. Every river flows toward Gleaming Sun Lake.
Hmm.
So Gleaming Sun Lake is at a little bit of a geographically just a lower point as compared to the surrounding environment.
I guess our mammoths can't swim.
I have one thing I would like to do before the end of the day.
Yeah.
Before we all go to bed, or while Tuskar is away from their sleeping bag or whatever, I'd like to go through my things and find a piece of yarn that I think Tuskar would like very much.
Oh.
And I'd like to sneak over to his things and slip it in there.
Yeah.
I
I'm just
imagine
saying
it would
she's
be
not paying
something
attention
with
at
a
all.
little shine to it, some little sparkle, little
some stone dust that has a bit of a reflectivity to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it.
Don't know how you work that into yarn, but still, looks good.
Very carefully.
Yeah. And the night passes. The funeral for Grandfather Eiwa is quite beautiful. And the following, I think, is now in better spirits than they were the previous day.
Oh yeah.
We wake up the next day. Are we spending a travel activity to get into the northeastern hex?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's wisest.
Okay. All right, you are able to use one travel activity to move northeast. As you do, you see the smoke continue in the same direction as where you just were. So they are still moving toward this hex that I'm pinging at the moment. But you see them slow down. And it's not clear why they've slowed down. You don't think that your pace has picked up, but they are slower. With the survival check from Bloodhound, thinking back on what you saw about the Burning Mammoth tribe, this is a massive group. This is what your tribe, your following used to be, and a small group splintered off and created your Broken Tusk following. But the Burning Mammoth following is much larger. And so you think that they've lost some momentum, and they are now a day behind all of you.
Ooh.
Namir now, or not, sorry, not Namir. Bloodhound now thinks that the entirety of the Burning Legion is following us. Or the Burning, sorry,
The
Burning Mammoth.
Hell yeah!
It does seem...
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, it does. It does seem like the Burning Mammoth following is just as a group moving with you. And this is like with just in general what you would know about these people. I mean, this is a warrior tribe. These people are here to hunt, here to kill, here to go to war. And even in their history, like, part of the reason they left the Mammoth realms was to go to war. They left the Mammoth realms generations ago so they could lead their people into war against the demons that invaded from the World Wound, which was essentially the ground cracked open and demons began pouring into the the northern part of the world. And the Burning Mammoth sent their warriors to go fight, even though they had promised that they were going to stay and guard the Mammoth realms. And so they broke their word as a following to go and protect others, but they are a warrior tribe.
I have a quick question. In terms of how much larger we believe them to be, is this like a Helm's Deep ratio or like a 300 ratio?
I would say they're about, and I might change this answer later, but from what I understand from reading the Adventure Path, I believe they are about 2/3 larger than all of you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not so bad.
Not horrible.
Yeah, I'm like, if we ever get attacked, are we just screwed, or is there a
Yeah.
chance here?
You're telling me there's a chance.
All right. I need a flat D20 as a luck check from one person.
Dan did it last time. Someone else.
I'm already typing it.
Got it.
My luck is so
Already.
bad.
Oh.
An 11.
As average as you can.
No!
An 11. The day passes. About halfway through the day as you walk, you begin to pass a lifelike statue of a rearing mammoth that stands in the middle of a grassy flatland. The statue balances on its hind legs precariously, lacking a base. The mammoth's face appears twisted in anger, trunk curled as though mid-trumpet. Beneath one of the stone mammoth's feet are the crushed remains of a feathered animal. That's where we will call session for tonight.
Cool.
Thank you, everybody.
Some great characterization this session. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was really nice. All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here and watching and hanging out with us. Players, thank you for being here and playing and helping us move the story forward. I'm having a ton of fun with this campaign.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We'll go ahead and call it a night. Thank you, everybody.
Night.
Night.
Right.